Today on Public Eye News, a Grand Traverse County Commissioner pleads guilty to using prostitution services, and later President-elect Trump plans on making changes to who falls under Title IX protection.
Our very own Reed Hall has a look into the weather around the UP, and later your Public Eye News Sports Breakdown. I'm Beck Brearley.
And I'm Bradley Seaborg, and this is Public Eye News. Grand Traverse County Commissioner Brad Jewett has pled guilty to one account of prostitution engaging services. The charge is a 93-day misdemeanor, and as part of the plea deal, the additional charge of using a computer to commit a crime was dropped. A joint law enforcement task force conducted an undercover sting operation at a Grand Traverse area hotel. The task force involved multiple jurisdictions, including the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office, the Traverse City Police Department, Homeland Security investigators, the Genesee County Sheriff's Office, and the Genesee Human Operations Strike Team, also known as GHOST. A sentencing date for the case has not yet been set. And overdose deaths in Michigan have decreased by 5.7%, nearly 5 times faster than the national average. Michigan reported 2,826 deaths in 2023, down from 2,998 deaths in 2022. The decrease can be attributed to programs like Michigan's Naloxone Direct Portal, which helps distribute opioid overdose reversal drugs to high-risk areas free of charge. Michigan has distributed over 1 million kits of Naloxone since the program started in 2020. The state has also expanded the opioid treatment capacity at 10 Michigan prisons, providing medications for 884 incarcerated individuals. Michigan has also expanded reimbursement for office-based treatment for alcohol use disorder and opioid use disorder.
And new data shows Michigan is making significant progress toward key education goals. The state has made major strides in its top 10 strategic education plan, with notable successes such as increased participation in college-level AP courses and improved exam performance. Alongside these gains, Michigan has seen growth in career and technical education, dual enrollment, and early middle college programs, all supporting Goal 4 expanding secondary learning opportunities for all students. Other highlights include progress in addressing teacher shortages, efforts to improve early literacy, rising graduation rates, and strides towards more adequate and equitable funding over the past 3 fiscal years. And the Michigan Department of Transportation will keep most rest areas open during winter. MDOT will keep nearly all of the state's 77 rest areas open this winter to ensure convenience and safety for motorists, but will close 5 seasonal rest areas starting December 2nd. Each year, only 5 rest areas are closed for a 20-week period, which this winter will run from December 2nd, 2024 to April 14th, 2025. These seasonal closures are due to reduced usage in the winter months and safety concerns including steep entrance and exit drives and potentially slippery conditions on stairways between parking lots and buildings. Closed until spring signs will be posted at these locations along with mileage information to the next open rest area. And downstate in Detroit, Interim Police Chief Todd Bettison is sworn in, and he's hopeful to stay chief as permanent position. CBS News Detroit reporter Gino Vici has more. Take a look.
Interim Police Chief Todd Bettison tells me he is so grateful for this appointment. He also tells me this is a position he is honored to hold. And finally, he says it's time to get to work for the city of Detroit.
I do.
Congratulations, my friend. I now present you as Chief of Police for the city of Detroit.
It's nothing more that I could even think of that I would want to do.
To say that Todd Bettison is excited to be the new interim police chief of the city of Detroit, that would be an understatement.
It means everything. And so I'm going to lead them with distinction, with honor, and I got their back. And I'm going to make sure that they get the resources that they need to be the best that they can do.
Chief Bettison, who served as deputy mayor for roughly the past year, served with the Detroit Police Department for 27 years prior to that. Bettison says he's very familiar with police operations and believes his appointment will be a smooth transition of power within the department.
I got the support of the men and women of the Detroit Police Department as well as the executive leadership team who I already know. I know them. They know me.
Some of the more important issues he will continue to focus on: reducing crime, slowing down reckless driving, and retaining great police officers within the department.
I will continue that same trend, so we're going to continue working hard.
Moving forward, the city's new top cop says the goal is to build on the past improvements under former police chief James White and be transparent as possible for the community.
I am going to be an over communicator. And so that's one thing that you can expect from my administration.
And Chief Beddison tells me he does understand the term interim implies temporary, but he believes he is the best choice based on his experience and relationships within the city. He also believes he will eventually be the permanent choice. In Detroit, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this short break.
It's such a magical place.
The abundance of life, absolutely extraordinary. And then it hit me. The world has to see this. Seeing the lions back on the beach. How are they going to survive?
In my lifetime, I get to be the first of something that could change people's lives.
The treasure was hidden in a special place. We are very lucky.
Welcome back. I'm Reed Hall, here to take you through our Public Eye weather update. Taking a look behind me at the Academic Mall. Pretty cloudy and gloomy day out there. A little bit of wind as well. Taking a look now towards the UP. Pretty cloudy all around the Upper Peninsula today, starting in Houghton, it's 49. Ironwood, where the sun is actually peeking out, is 44. Down in Iron Mountain, it is 46, and Menominee is also 46. If we take a look on the east side of the UP, Escanaba is going to be at 47. Manistee also at 47, and same with the Sioux. And then looking at Marquette, is going to be 48 and mostly cloudy. Taking a closer look at our current conditions, winds are south-southeast at 17 miles an hour. And our barometric pressure is 30.12 inches and falling. Taking a look into tonight, it's going to be a little cloudy. Think some rain showers towards the midnight hour, and our low is going to be 39. Winds south at 9 miles an hour, and our moon phase is a waxing gibbous. Taking a look into tomorrow, more rain, a high of 46, a low of 40, and our winds will be out of the east at 5 miles an hour. And taking a look towards Friday and into the weekend, on Friday it's going to be a high of 49, cloudy with a low of 38. Saturday is going to be a high of 50, mostly cloudy with a low of 44. And on Sunday, it's going to be a high of 51, mostly sunny, and a low of 36. That's all the weather I have for the day. Back to the news desk.
Thanks for that weather report, Reed. Hopefully some of that rain starts turning into snow sometime soon. Now for our national news. Following President-elect Donald Trump's anti-transgender rhetoric throughout his campaign, where he vowed to launch a series of restrictions and rollbacks of civil rights for trans people, transgender youth have been flooding crisis hotlines. The Rainbow Youth Project has reported that they have received over 5,500 calls in the last 10 days since the election, a dramatic increase from the 3,700 they usually receive over the course of a month. Transgender rights was one of the most polarizing aspects of the election, with 85% of Trump voters feeling that trans rights have gone too far, compared to only 24% of Harris voters that felt the same way. Rolling back these protections could take time, but the Trump administration could quickly exclude them from Title IX protections, which would affect everything from school policies on pronouns to locker rooms. And General Motors has announced a recall for nearly 462,000 SUVs and pickup trucks, citing an issue that could cause the rear wheels to lock up. The recall covers all Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra trucks from the 2020 to 2022 model years. Also affected are the Cadillac Escalade, GMC Yukon, and Chevy Tahoe and Suburban. The issue stems from a transmission control valve that can wear out and fail, causing the rear wheels to lock. An early sign of the problem would be harsh gear shifting before any wheel problems arise. GM says their new transmission control software will be able to detect excess wear 10,000 miles before failure. A GM investigator found 1,888 cases of wheel lockup that could be attributed to the transmission control valve, including 11 cases where the vehicle veered off the road. And wildfires continue to rage in both the east and west coast of the United States. In the northeast, crews are tackling a new fire just north of Boston. The fire along the New Jersey-New York line has consumed about 5,000 acres. Out west, fire crews face criticism in their attempts to stop California's mountain fire. CBS's News' Jared Hill has more.
After California's mountain fire burned through nearly 250 houses and buildings, a stunning statement from the Ventura County Fire Chief.
I know we made tactical mistakes. I know they were made.
But the chief is standing by their strategy, noting no one was killed in the fires, though some homeowners have shared stories of seeing crews leaving as flames were still raging in their neighborhoods.
Tactical error is when one of our companies pulls up with zero visibility and 80-mile-an-hour winds and embers is flying in their face, and they take that 3-second pause to identify a structure, and they look and say, is this structure savable? And they're going to reanalyze that and say, maybe I should have bumped to the next house.
The mountain fire more than 50% contained, while on the East Coast, a river of flames snakes through Lynn, Massachusetts.
A lot of these fires that we're seeing, they're caused by human behavior, okay? Now is not the time to burn leaves. Now is not the time to go outside and light a fire out back.
The deadly Jennings Creek fire that started in New Jersey burned dangerously close to homes. That fire also raging just across the state line in New York. Governor Kathy Hochul announced a statewide burn ban until the end of the month.
The conditions we're facing are still pretty dire. This is one of the driest Octobers we've had on record.
And with no real rain in the forecast, officials are urging people across the region to conserve water. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And Reed Hall will have your sports update after this break. Stay tuned.
All the people out there frightened.
2 dead bodies in quick succession.
We're dealing with a serial killer.
You were the key witness. What did you see?
The landscape of criminal investigation.
Of course.
We're not going to miss this, are we?
We are all in this together.
Welcome back. I'm here this time to take you through our sports breakdown. Tipping things off on the hardwood, where the Detroit Pistons secured their first NBA Cup win, defeating the Miami Heat 123-121 last night. The Pistons jumped out early in this one, leading 39-21 early into the second, before the Heat pulled off a 23-4 run to take a lead of their own. The Pistons then squandered a lead late into the fourth after catching the turnover bug, committing 6 in the final quarter alone. Miami's Tyler Hero took advantage, nailing 6 threes, including 3 in a row to send the game into overtime. It was in overtime where the Pistons squeaked by after starting the quarter with 3 straight turnovers, before getting bailed out after the Heat pulled a Chris Webber and called a timeout they did not own. This sent Malik Beasley to the line for the game-winning technical free throw. The Pistons, now 5-7, will be back in action tonight, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. And staying on the basketball court, where the MSU Spartans fell 77-69 to the top-ranked Kansas Jayhawks. In a much-anticipated Champions Classic, it was the Jayhawks who fell behind early after missing 15 straight shots. They were able to regain the lead after a 14-2 run, but the Spartans were able to tie things back up with 9 minutes to play in the second before never seeing the lead again. MSU finished the night just 3 for 24 behind the long line and shot just a measly 35% from the field. Former Michigan Wolverine and Spartan killer Hunter Dickinson led the way for the Jayhawks, finishing with a team-high 28 points and 12 rebounds. With the win, Kansas head coach Bill Self becomes the winningest coach in Kansas history. And back here on campus, NMU Women's Soccer opened postseason GLIAC play yesterday with a dominating 5-0 win over the Michigan Tech Huskies. Early offensive production led the way for the Cats in this one after scoring 4 goals in the first 15 minutes of play. The Wildcats have set a new season-high goal total of 52, while Brooke Pietola now holds the record for most matches played at 94. With the win, the Wildcats have clinched home field advantage for the remainder of the tournament and will play Davenport this coming Friday. The last time these two teams met, it was Davenport who came out on top 1-0. The winner will move on to face either GVSU or SVSU in the championship game. That's all the sports I have. Back to the news desk. Well, thank you for that sports update, Reed. Brad, I understand you're something of a Pistons fan.
Yes, I am a huge Pistons fan, and they've been quite the exciting team to watch this year. They've really turned things around from their dire straits last year. Are you a Pistons fan yourself?
I'm not too much into basketball, unfortunately.
That's too bad. I hear you got one more story for us.
I do. It's a hot one. And John Krasinski has been named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. The magazine revealed its pick Tuesday night during The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, announcing the actor, writer, and director as this year's choice. Krasinski told People that his immediate reaction to the honor was shock. He added that he thought he might be getting pranked. He takes the mantle from last year's honoree, Patrick Dempsey.
That's all the time we have for you today on Public Eye News. I'm Bradley Seaborg.
And I'm Beck Burley.
And we'll see you tomorrow.